What happened to the best fighting the best? Kamaru Usman has been calling for the title shot with Islam Makhachev for months, campaigning after just one win in the last 4 years. Now is not the time for this, Kamaru. Islam Makhachev just cemented himself as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the entire UFC, in the entire world, with that massive victory over Jack Della Maddalena. Even Dana White now is encouraging this. He says that Kamaru Usman is the #1 welterweight of all time. What, are we just forgetting about GSP now? No, I know Kamaru went on a generational run. I was a huge fan of his throughout much of that run as he started to knock out motherfuckers left and right. Yeah, that's right. I said it. This guy, I know. I was a fan of this guy despite some of the boring performances early on. But what's crazy about this is that it just keeps getting pushed further and further. Each and every day, we seem to get closer and closer to this. Kamaru's absolutely delusional.
Your chances are. I mean, I'm asking you to kind of speculate here, but like, yes.
My chances to fight these guys, to beat these guys, or what?
No. To get the title fight. You're right.
Title fight.
We all know what you want. There is no secret what Kamaru Usman wants. And now Islam has even said, I would like to fight Kamaru. There's a lot of appealing things about this, but as you said, there are some naysayers that say it doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, what do you think your chances are?
Well, here's the big thing is I've been seeing some of these podcast guys or so-called sport MMA analysts or fake analysts or whatever that never were in this sport, never fought in this sport, and just run. And these were the same guys that were going, oh, Usman's washed, Joaquin Buckley's going to just take care of him and all these things. And they don't know anything about this sport.
It's hard for me to understand that just because you fought in the UFC means that you understand how the UFC works from a business perspective, Kamaru. Just because you're a fighter doesn't mean you understand how the business of MMA works, putting fights together, getting contract signs. You know nothing about that, just like I know nothing about getting in the cage, but I do know something about the history of MMA and how certain fighters across the history of the MMA world have gotten title shots and some haven't. Some that are deserving don't get it. Some that do not deserve it have gotten them. And you don't seem to deserve it in the least bit right now. Get one more win against a Michael Morales or a Carlos Prates. I say you got it all for yourself. The legacy involved in this fight is massive. Islam versus Kamaru is a massive fight in my mind. I would still be excited for it. But to call yourself the unanimous #1 contender after a Joaquin Buckley win? No. We'll get into that in just a few minutes. But let's keep listening to what Kamaru has to say. Let's hear the guy out. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the stupid one for thinking that a guy who's got one win in the last 4 years deserves a title shot.
So Joaquin Buckley's going to just take care of him and all these things. And they don't know anything about this sport. Listen, if given the opportunity, I'm going to try to maximize it and go out there and do what I feel that I'm capable of doing. I don't care what these people have to say. For me, as far as what I feel about the chances, I think the chances are great. I mean,
I wouldn't say those chances are looking too great. I mean, we go over to the rankings, and it looks like Kamaru Usman has dropped down, 3 spots down to the #8 ranked contender. Ian Gary's got to fight #2, Bilal Muhammad. He could jump into that second spot, get the shot with a huge win over Muhammad. Oh my goodness, Kamaru, I think you're a little bit crazy. I think you're not paying attention or reading the room at all. I think you're a bit delusional, and that's just saying a little bit of something. I mean, come on now, man. Come on. What are you talking about here, brother? Just because this, just because that. Jack Della got a chance because somebody got injured. Alexa Grasso got the chance because there's no other ladies contenders out there. There's a lot of good fighters in front of you that you're going to have to take down at least one of to earn that title shot. Doesn't matter that the legendary status is in your favor. He may ultimately get the fight because he's looking to turn around on short notice, but these other guys, they just fought and took little to zero damage. I mean, come on, what are we talking about here? Ali Abdelaziz is saying, oh, I'm so shocked that this would honestly happen. I mean, how could this even happen? I mean, I only manage both these guys. I'm only going to be making millions of dollars off of both these guys fighting. I wouldn't push this fight. This fight only kind of makes sense. I mean, what are you guys talking about? We know this isn't true, Ali.
I was kind of honestly shocked. Kamaru kind of want to fight with him because we all friends and brothers and stuff like that. But Kamaru looking at this, it's a competition. I love you. I'm proud of you. But I just want to compete with you. And listen, at the end of the day, they're grown men. If this is what they choose to do, I'm just there to help and support and just
I'm just here to make all the money in the world off of both these fighters. I'm so shocked. I mean, how could this possibly happen? Even though just a few months ago you said that this is the fight to make. It's absolutely the only fight to make at the White House.
Longest reigning champion, welterweight champion, 5 title defenses, and you telling me Kamaru Usman versus Islam Makhachev is not a mega fight? But is Kamaru Usman willing to wait a year?
Come on, this was right after the fight happened. What do you mean you're shocked that this is going to happen?
Who could pick somebody right now tonight to challenge him next? Who would you pick?
He said it. He said he want to fight Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is 15-fight winning streak, 5 title defenses, greatest welterweight of all the time. Beating all these young guys. What does that do for his legacy? He don't do nothing for his legacy. Kamaru Usman, it's a very tough opponent, and I represent him too.
See, there we go. That's why we're pushing Justin Gaethje to get a title shot, because you manage him and you make 20% off of his purse. Oh, that's why we're pushing Kamaru, even though he's only got 1 win in the last 4 years, because he and Islam are both represented by you, Ali. Of course you would try to push those guys to the end of the earth. It's not because of what they want and they're representing themselves. It's because you represent both of them. It's not just their interests that you're interested in. It's your own. It's your own money that's going in your pocket. Again, we look at those rankings. He's fallen down quite by the wayside. So is this really what the UFC wants? I don't know, buddy. I'm not so sure. And shout out to Ronin MMA. I came across this clip, and just the absolute delusion coming out of Usman is unmatched here.
There'll be some haters in the comments going, well, this guy doesn't deserve the next shot. You got Ian Gary and Bilal fighting. You got, the Sean Brady's fighting. What's your message to people who say you don't deserve this next title shot?
It is what it is. I was, what was it, like the 4-1 underdog going into that last fight. So, it is what it is. It's recency bias. That's what people like.
You know who else was a 4-1 underdog? Ethan Ewing this past weekend against Malcolm Mulmaker. Are we just going to chuck Ethan Ewing into a title shot? I don't think so. Shut your damn mouth, you stupid idiot.
To say, well, when you look at the body of work and you look at the position that I've put myself, I mean, had Joaquin Buckley done what he said he was going to do and finished me, Joaquin Buckley, you would absolutely make a case for him that he was next for the title, correct? Mm-hmm. So, that wasn't the case. So now I'm not next for the title. I have 1 loss. I've lost to 1 guy in the welterweight division my whole career.
Welterweight, but you also lost to Khamzat Chimaev, right? Don't just take it from me, an online pundit, an idiot himself, right? Me, an idiot. Don't just take it from me. Why don't you go and listen to Bilal Muhammad, who you were supposed to fight earlier this year, if not at the UFC Qatar card this weekend? Why don't you listen to that guy, since I'm such an idiot and I just like to talk about MMA for fun?
Everyone wants the shot, though. I mean, that's pretty clear. We saw these guys make the performance. Usman, Shavkat. Who ultimately do you think is going to get the next fight with Islam?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Usman to talk and act like he deserves a shot, the guy's 1-3 out of his last 4, and he turned down a fight with me to fight this weekend. So I think he's automatically marked off. I feel like Shavkat being injured and being out, he's going to have to get another win. I think the front runner right now is Morales, right? The performance he had, the streak he's on. So for me, I got to outperform his performance.
Mm-hmm. What about this?
Which all makes sense because, of course, Ian Gary has the win over Carlos Prates. If Bilal beats up on Ian Gary, does he really deserve the shot? Should he have to fight a Carlos Prates or a Kamaru Usman, maybe even Joaquin Buckley himself? We don't know yet, but we're going to have to wait and see after UFC Qatar who wins this matchup. That really decides kind of where the next couple matchups will be taking place. But the guy on the win streak, the undefeated guy, the young guy, the hungry guy, is Michael Morales, who had a fantastic finish over the number 2 ranked Sean Brady at the time. It's not just me, some random kid sitting in his mom's basement. Also, Ariel Helwani, a pretty established journalist who knows a lot about the fight game, who's been in and around the fight game for a long time. Has he stepped in the cage? No. But would you consider this guy an idiot? I mean, you go and do interviews with this guy and other people of the likes of Ariel Helwani. So do you consider them idiots? Do you consider Brett Akamoto, who you were on the interview with earlier, talking about how we are so stupid as people who talk about this sport? I don't think so. Let's see what happens when Ariel talks about this.
Or is there a Kamaru Usman fight out there? And it seems like the entire Islam squad is pushing for that fight. Are they pushing for it like John Jones was pushing for the Stipe fight because they want the legacy win? Are they pushing for it because they're buddies? Are they pushing for it because they're all under the same management? I don't know. But it does seem like that's what they're pushing for. And count me among those who say I have zero interest in that fight, and it would be an absolute travesty if the likes of Michael Morales and Carlos Prates and Ian Gary are doing their thing, and Kamaru Usman, who has 1 win in the past 4 fights, and the one win is against Joaquin Buckley back in June, who wasn't even a top 5 fighter. If he was,
Are you freaking kidding me? Let's not downplay the Joaquin Buckley win. Let's be fair to Kamaru here, but come the fuck on, Kamaru. What are you talking about? What is everybody talking about? Everybody's losing their minds. He is the 3rd or 4th guy in line. If there's injuries involved with a potential fight with Islam early in 2026, he could get it just by being the guy who steps up, being the guy who's ready, being the guy who's available, who's not booked with a fight because he seems to only want to fight for the title and not anybody else. So of course, by happenstance, he may get the title shot at, but what are we talking about here? How does this guy deserve it over all those other contenders? This is absolutely foolish, but you guys let me know. Would you be interested in seeing Makhachev versus Usman? I mean, I'd be interested, of course, if they book the fight, but I don't want to see this. This is not the fight that they need to make. This is not the fight that they can make. There's no way, shape, or form this should ever be put together at this stage. Let Kamaru go in there, get one more win, then let's book it for all the welterweight legacy to be on the line. Again, you guys let me know what you think about this in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.